channel. In today's video, I am going to do a review for Five Nights at Freddy. I'm going to make this one short because it's just a review, and I don't have much to say on my review because one, it's a review, so I want to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, and also it's going to be spoiler free. So with spoiler free reviews, you don't want to say much about it. So anyways, I was excited for this movie from like the start that I heard it. Not just because after seeing the trailer, I know that it had Josh Hutcherson in it and Matthew Lillard. So those are two of my favorite actors, and so I wanted to see it just because of them. I've never played the game. I have never even heard of the game before. So I had no idea. I didn't look into anything about the game or anything like that. Like I said, I didn't realize it was a game until like maybe a couple of weeks ago. Probably more like a few days ago. So anyway, I didn't want to kind of look into it because I kind of wanted to be a little bit more surprised, I guess, or going into the movie as blind as possible. But with that being said, I will just go right into my review. I thought that it was okay. Like, it could have been better. Like, I love Josh Hutcherson and I love Matthew Lillard. Like, to me, Matthew Lillard can do no wrong. He's one of my favorite actors. So, anyway, I thought that the puppets, the animatronics were amazing. They looked amazing. And what I loved is that it was the Jim Henson department. From, Kermit and Miss Piggy, that stuff. So it was their department that did the animatronics. And from what I know, they didn't do any like CGI, so that was great. And the animatronics and all that was amazing. They looked great. To me, overall, this movie, it wasn't amazing or drop dead, like, oh my gosh, go see it now type of thing. But it did have its qualities, good qualities. And it kind of felt more of a drama / suspense mystery than like a horror. It did have some attempts at being scary, like a couple of good, tried its best at jump scares. Like, I didn't jump once, but it did, like, I could see how it could scare some others that are very easily scared. But, and I don't know if it would have helped if I knew a little bit about the game or not, but at times the storyline could be a little confusing. But like I said, I don't know if knowing the games or the lore would help or not, or if it would just ruin the movie. But overall, it was okay. I think I will see it again, but I work in a movie theater, so I saw it for free, which is nice. But also, I can see it for free too because it's actually streaming on Peacock, which at the same time. So at the same time that it's in theaters, it's streaming on Peacock. So if you're not somebody who wants to go and make the trek out to a movie theater and you have Peacock, stream it on Peacock. And those of you that are out of the country, there would be something great that you can use called a VPN, a virtual private network. It's something that you can use on your devices, like your smart TVs, your game players like Xbox and PlayStations, and anywhere that you really stream your movies and such. It will allow you to change the location on your device. So even if, like, let's say you live in London, but then you want to stream a movie that's only on Australia's Netflix, you can do that. You can change your location on your devices with a VPN, a virtual private network. So then that way you can watch another country's Netflix, because they're like the movies and TV shows on your Netflix in your country will be different than another country's Netflix. So, for example, if you live in the UK or Australia and you guys don't have Peacock, then you can use a VPN and change your location to say like the US. And the US, I know, because that's where I live, has Peacock. So if you want to do that, you can. So then that way you're able to stream it. Therefore, I don't know if you're able to like purchase a plan that way. But I'm sure that if you have friends or family who's living in the US, that will allow you to use theirs when you switch or whatever your location, then you could probably do it that way. But me, I might see it again. Like, I think it was okay, and because I think maybe with a second watch, now that I can know that I can watch it on Peacock, and I should have known that I could have watched it on Peacock just the same, because Five Nights at Freddy's is made by Blumhouse / Universal, and Universal Blumhouse owns Peacock. So therefore, I don't know if it's all their movies that they've made, but from my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, if there's been other movies. Like, I don't know if they... Is Megan on Peacock? I know for sure Megan is on... Yes, I want to say Megan is on Peacock because that is a Blumhouse. I'm not sure about that one. I'm not sure about Megan, but the first movie that they did this with was Halloween Ends. Like, they did it strictly to where they put Halloween Ends not only in theaters but streamed it on Peacock at the same time. Because even though Halloween Ends came out last year, there was both the studio and I believe Jamie Lee Curtis wanted to have the Halloween Ends to be streamed on Peacock as well as be in theaters. So then that way those that didn't want to or didn't feel comfortable going back to the theaters quite yet can watch it at home right away. So they didn't have to wait a couple 3 months until it's on VOD, on video on demand. But and which kind of makes sense, because even though technically we are out of this, for the most part, out of the gateway of COVID-19, there are still cases and people are still dying from it technically, so people are not going to the movie theaters as often. Yes, more and more people are going back to the movie theaters, but then there are some that don't feel comfortable going back to theaters, so they're still relying on the streaming, so which makes sense. So those that love horror but don't want to go to the movie theater to watch it, that's a good thing. But anyway, kind of going back to my review, just like I said, to me it didn't seem horror-y enough. Like, it didn't have as much horror aspects as I thought it was going to be. It did have a couple of good horror elements, and in some sense, it kind of reminded me of Megan a little bit. Yes, they're the same company, they're made by the same studio, but the reason why it reminded me of that is because of the animatronics technology, with Gemma, who was the aunt to Katie and Megan. She made Megan. And then of course something kind of overwent her and she went crazy and scary, blah, blah, blah. But, and that's where I get the similarities. But, this movie itself, I can see where it was trying to do what it was trying to do, but for some reason or another, it didn't go as well as they meant to, I think. Like I said, there was a couple of good attempts at jump scares that I don't think went all the way through. Like I didn't jump once. I did like kind of a little bit of the backstory of some aspects of it, but at the same time, I'm like, could have been better. Overall, if you are a fan of the game, I can't tell you whether or not you should go and see the movie in theaters. But then again, I would still recommend seeing it in one way or another. If you, like I said, I would probably prefer or suggest you do the streaming instead of going to the theaters because for the most part, if you have Peacock, then it's probably going to be cheaper anyways because yes, you're paying for Peacock every month, but instead of if you have a big like friend group that wants to see it and whatnot, instead of paying like 10-15 bucks per ticket at the movie theater, it would definitely save you guys a lot of money if you know somebody that has Peacock and they'll let you use it to watch it. Do it the Peacock streaming route. I'm sure somebody in your friend group probably has like a movie room or a good big screen TV or like a like projector with a big screen that you guys can probably watch it on. Like may actually just DIY a movie room like in your bedroom. Like grab a sheet, hang it from the ceiling, get one of those cheap portable projectors from like Amazon or Walmart. I don't even know if Walmart has them, but like you get what I mean. Like get one cheap, like under $100 or $50. Like they have like those mini projectors for cheap that you could just hang a sheet in your room, or if you have a big, blank white wall somewhere in your house, then you'll be able to stream it there. And to have the big white wall or big white sheet to stream it on with the mini projector and whatnot. Or if I'm not sure if it's right away able to rent it on like Amazon or something, but you could probably do it that way if you don't have Peacock. So anyway, overall, I would give this movie a personal rate of, I would say, a 5 out of 10. Scare one, I would say probably a 2.5, 3. Like I said, it had a couple of jump scares that kind of landed flat, and also some of the violent kills you don't actually see, like them do it. It's implied, as well as you see the aftermath of them being killed. And so overall, like originality, I would say I would give this maybe a 6.5, 7 pushing it, because it's based off the games, and the games are, from what I understand, pretty original. But then again, there are a lot of the horror video games that have been coming around for years. But like I said, I've never played the games, so I can't compare the video games with the movie to give you a clear cut like, oh my gosh, the movie is better than the games, or vice versa. But probably the games are going to be better than a movie, let's be honest. And I'm going to say movies because it kind of seemed, especially near the end, like if it's a cliffhanger almost, that you can kind of tell that it is going to have a sequel, which makes sense because if you're a fan of the games, then you know. But that, I know that's kind of like a little spoiler right there. But I do want to say that a couple of key things that I loved about this movie was that I loved that Josh Hutcherson was in it, because again, like I said, I love him, and like I said, I love Matthew Lillard. And I think that Matthew Lillard, and here's kind of like not necessarily a spoiler, but just an FYI, if you're a big fan of Matthew Lillard and you're strictly seeing this movie because of him, just kind of a little disappointing fact. He's only in like a couple scenes. I wanted more of him in this movie because he's just amazing. But and a couple of those, like in one of those scenes, I kind of heard him go back into his Scooby-Doo voice, which is great. And I actually recently met him about a month ago at Comic-Con at the Salt Lake FanX, which we had to change it to FanX because San Diego had to be a pussy. But anyway, another topic and for another time. But he was so freaking nice, and he was so personable. Like, he was so nice, and he's so tall. But then again, I'm short. But anyway, he is such a good actor. I just love him. But anyway, I think that was the highlight of the movie for me, to be able to see him in another role. And I love him in so many other things, like recently with Good Girls. But anyway, that was a good highlight. The little girl was so cute in this movie, I have to say. She was really cute. And so, yeah, I think she was a good highlight too, because she was just adorable. She did good for what she was given. And another highlight I really enjoyed was, even though she played like the villain or the bitch, whichever you want to prefer, was Mary Stuart Masterson. She is a product slash actress from the 80s. So I think that was kind of nice that they kind of put her in this movie, because she was a product and a star of the 80s. Sure, she may not have been as popular as, say, like Molly Ringwald or Ali Sheedy, but she has been in a couple of good 80s movies, like Some Kind of Wonderful, and then going into 80s, 90s movies with like Fried Green Tomatoes, and oh my gosh, so good. I love those movies. I love Some Kind of Wonderful and Fried Green Tomatoes. But anyways, overall, I would say yes, watch it, but watch it on video on demand, or streaming. Streaming, if you have, it's streaming right away if you have Peacock. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be right away streaming on video on demand like Amazon or whatever, but that being said, I'm going to go and check. I'm going to be checking right now to check and see. So I checked, I checked Google, and it looks like it's only streaming on Peacock for now. It said that it's not streaming anywhere else, not Prime, not Vudu. For now, it looks like. So I guess that once it's been in the theaters for, a month or two and whatnot, then it will probably be available to rent on Vudu or Prime or anywhere else that you rent and buy your digital media. I want to go thrifting again for some physical media. Yes, I still have physical media. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy this video and that you could put it in with a grain of salt, whether you want to go see it or not. Like I said, if you don't want to, if there's a whole bunch of you that are a fan of the game and you want to save some money, maybe do and here's another thought, if you don't want to spend, 8, 10, 15 bucks a piece for a ticket to go see it in the movie theaters, maybe do a 7, I don't know if Peacock does a 7-day free trial or a 30-day free trial, but maybe sign up for Peacock for whatever amount of free days and watch it and then cancel it, so there you go. That's a good option. I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye.